Here we are at the end of Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Europe 2026. You can see from behind me the expo is being built down. They pulled down the stage. People are on their way homes. But on the way home now, I think to reflect on many lessons and discussions that we've had over the last 2 days. And just if I drill down more on what we spoke about on the last day, although we're still facing many crises, and of course resiliency and artificial intelligence was top of mind, we looked more to sustainability. We looked more at the long-term commitments and partnership models that we need to bring in more e-trucks and decarbonize our supply chains. A great example was shared by Jenny Westermark from Volvo Group, who talked not only about the technology and the investments needed to drive sustainable logistics, but changing our own operating models. Volvo, for example, is using a relay system for certain routes in Europe where the drivers can switch out, go home, but the cargo keeps moving. And this enables the e-truck to be used much more seamlessly in the network. It was just a great example of what we can do in our own network. And I think that was food for thought for many of our other audience. Levent Yuksel from JLR challenged the industry to think of new ways to work together to get over the hurdles. He's very proud, as he should be, of implementing sustainable fuels, to different pilots with e-trucks, marine fuel sustainability, but he and others want to move further and faster. And he doesn't always see the industry as willing to make the compromises, willing to work together, be it on standards, be it on new types of co-investment, which he's very open for. He even said, if someone comes to him with a suggestion where he has to deviate a route in order to make it more sustainable, he would look at the trade-off. And I think that willingness to make trade-offs was really important. We had some interesting discussion on the ECG's proposal for a green cost calculator, basically a way to much more dynamically understand the changing costs of e-truck. And this was then reflected on by Toyota's Julia Meyssonnier, who really showed an openness toward the concept, but wanted to be able to work in a very transparent way with its suppliers on long-term basis and understanding how this data interacts with its own data. And I think she was also very open to the idea of innovation in the network. How do we adapt our own processes to be able to be more sustainable? Of course, we couldn't get away from our topics like resiliency and managing crises. And Agnieszka Kubiak from Brose Group talked about, again, the importance of designing a supply chain from the front with value add considerations, with resilience in mind, localization where it makes sense, putting working capital to the front where it matters. So these were really important lessons, which, as she said, were so prevalent at the conference. We heard from so many speakers over the last couple of days. So it wasn't so much new, but it's now embedded. Finally, I think we put a lot of great focus on our students, on the future. We had interactions from some of our supply chain leaders who sat together with students from universities, asking questions back and forth about their careers, what they would want in the career in supply chain, and really opening up opportunities. It was so great to see this reflected together with leaders like Carlos Vasquez from Stellantis, Kai Albus from Man & Hummel, Martin Corner, all from Aston Martin, all sat with our students exchanging. And that was a great note for us to look ahead and again think of the future together with the students, and over the next year when we're going to have more crises, I'm sure, to manage in the current and the future, more digitalization opportunities. But the sun is shining on us. That's at least some hope for spring, for brighter times ahead. And we're looking forward to taking you on the journey over the next year and welcoming you back to Germany for 2027 conference. So let's have a look out on the River Rhine and all the beauty that is surrounding us as we look ahead to the supply chain of the future in Europe.